Let's talk about hair. So me and hair have a very complicated relationship. The last decade I've been experimenting with loads of different hairstyles that some of them were pretty hilarious and some of them were pretty alright. Me and hair have this strange relationship. We don't like one another essentially. So I'm going to show you the complete history of my hairstyles when I started secondary school to very much now. So from birth to about 2009, I just grew out my hair. I had cradle cap when I was a very little baby, but it didn't sort of affect me in sort of set me back in any way. So when I started secondary school, I had hair about this long. It was pretty much down to my bum, essentially. I just grew it. I liked the fact that I was almost Rapunzel, essentially. However, it got to a point where it was very difficult to maintain. I mean, washing it and drying it, it was like a 2-hour process essentially. My mum would literally just be sitting there just drying it all night and we would be watching Wild at Heart playing on ITV, so it was kind of like a nice bonding moment, but it was very difficult to maintain. And then I cut it to this length. This length was very much lighter. It was a huge new experience to me. I'd never had my hair cut dramatically like that. I tried out a whole load of different styles. I basically swept it to the side and did a side ponytail. It was different, but I kept experimenting and I started pushing my hair, sweeping it around my ear to try and get that side fringe look. And then eventually I put a fringe in it, which was a bad idea. I can't find a photo or the photo someone took of me at school of where it was basically a fringe and then I had a piece that went over the fringe. It was kind of like a hippy-dippy rock star kind of hairstyle and it did not suit me at all. And it didn't last. I swept it to the side, so it very much didn't last, this hairstyle. Now comes some of my emo photos. Now I basically went from being sort of hipster to punk rock to then very much emo. I cut my own hair. I tried to get that emo kind of look. The emo hairstyle was that it was short, but then they would put long extensions in. And because I had fairly long hair, I just asked her to cut it into like a bob and then just keep the length so that I didn't have to put extensions in. It kind of worked, but it didn't at the end of the day. It was kind of, I loved my emo sort of years, but it wasn't my best kind of years. So then my hair started to grow again and I started college at this point and I said to myself, I've always wanted blue hair. I was obsessed with the colour blue at the time and I wanted blue hair. So I went to the hairdressers and I said I wanted dip dye blue hair to, start slow and then build my way up, and this is what happened. It was green. I don't know if she was colourblind or anything, but this is clearly green. Until I dyed it again and kept dyeing it with the blue, because she gave us pots of blue. It did sort of go to like a peacock colour in my opinion, where it had little turquoise, blues, greens in it, so it was like peacock feathers in my opinion. But this again didn't very much last. It kept fading to green and eventually I chopped it and said goodbye. I don't really have a good photo for this next bit, but I wanted to try copper hair. And what I ended up doing was dyeing the top part of my hair copper and then dyeing the bottom part of my hair red. I saw like a style online and I quite liked it, so we got 2 different colours, dyed the first bit, because I still had that emo cut where it was, I had layers to about here and then I had very long hair. We just dyed this top bit and then dyed the other bit a different colour. They weren't 2 different colours, they quite complemented each other, but I don't have a very good photo, so this is the best that I've got at the moment. Again, with this I started experimenting, I started curling my hair, and for some reason I cut myself a fringe again. I don't know why, but I just seemed to keep trying out this fringe trend. Again, this fringe trend did not last because it was swept to the side within days. And then at the beginning of 2015, I did this. I tried to get that copper and other look, but I wanted to try more red, and it didn't very much go very well. The haircut of this as well is too bulky at the bottom, if that makes sense. It's where she's sort of trying to layer it and obviously it's all curled up a little bit, so it's not really sitting right. But yeah, I tried that whole red and then my natural hair and it didn't really work very well. But I'm glad because it faded out very quickly, so it didn't last very long. Thank God. And then my boyfriend broke up with me, and this was in August, around about the 3rd or the 4th I think, and the very next day I cut my hair and I dyed it. I dyed it sort of a burgundy colour, but I cut it because I was depressed, and this is where me and my hair have a very complicated relationship. It was the beginnings of this very complicated relationship we were having. But another reason it was sort of cut, it was mainly because I wanted it chopped. I decided I wanted a new look. I got a new phone that day, so wanted to completely revamp my life. And I was starting uni in September, so it was kind of like a new hairstyle for university. And I quite liked it to begin with. It was nice, it was red, sort of burgundy colours, and it sort of became my hair. It felt like a new me, essentially. And I never had my hair that short before. I've had it cut, but I've never had it up to here, essentially. So it was very new to me. So yes, that hair started to grow, and this is a photo of me at a wedding being a bridesmaid. And then for some reason, I quite like it though, so don't judge me, I dyed it red. This is actually being brightened up, if you probably see I over contrasted it to make the hair look redder, but it was actually more this colour in reality. And then again, for some reason at that summer of 2016, I gave myself another fringe. But this time, this one I actually quite like. Out of all the fringe cuts that I've had, this was the one that I really liked. But again, it did not very much last. So yes, I kept dyeing my hair a burgundy red. I quite like the colour. And it started to get longer and longer and longer. And then again, I chopped it. I was at a depressed moment in my time at this point. It was during my second year where I was sleeping about 18 hours, a story for another day, for medical reasons, and I chopped my hair. I was getting to a very low point, and then I dyed it bright red. And this is a true bright red, it was bright. Again, this didn't actually very much last. It lasted for a couple of months, and then as you can see, my roots started to grow, and I couldn't be asked to top up my roots, so I then stripped the red out, which turned it to this colour, and then not very long after, I dyed it dark brown. Now, it looks black, okay, and all my friends told me it looked black, but it was a dark brown. I swear to God, I bought a box that was dark brown. I wanted close to my natural colour, essentially, but I wanted it darker. Because my natural colour is sort of a dark brown, but it's a bit lighter than this. But that dark brown didn't last, it faded very quickly, and my natural hair colour started to show through. So, you win some, you lose some. Now again, my hair was growing, so I decided to experiment with curlers and curling tongues, and had some very interesting, embarrassing, curly hair. We don't talk about the Afro Day. We don't talk about Afro Day. So I kept it straight. And then at the end of 2017, I wanted crimpers, and I got crimpers, and lo and behold, this look. I wanted the Jack Sparrow look without actually having dreadlocks. So this was the alternative sort of inspiration from his hair. I made plaits within my hair, crimped the entire thing. Some of it was actually straight. I wanted that sort of dreadlock look without actually having dreadlocks. But then not very long, I bought dreadlocks off of eBay, and I got green dreadlocks. I know, I didn't like green before, and now I love the colour green. I'm obsessed with low-key, so that's pretty much why. The only problem with this hairstyle was that it took a very long time. I was in my final year of university, and it took 2 hours to do this hairstyle. I had to crimp my hair, I had to add the dreadlocks in, and then I had to plait certain parts of my hair. It was a long process, and my arms were tired each time I did it. So I ended up keeping it straight, and I kept true to my natural hair colour. I was growing out all my colour to try and get my natural hair colour out. And my hair got longer and longer and longer and longer, and I was pretty happy at that point. I wanted long hair for graduation, but I wanted to do my masters, and that's when I wanted a dramatic hair change. And lo and behold, I cut my hair yet again, this time the shortest that I've ever had it. Now there was a massive reason why I also cut my hair. My hair was falling out. I didn't know if it was the weight of my hair, the fact that I had dyed my hair so many times, though every time I went to a hairdresser, hair was in absolutely healthy, excellent condition. I always looked after my hair no matter how many times I dyed it, but it was just falling out. And I was getting a very itchy scalp, which I still do at this today, and it was causing me issue. And I thought, if I cut my hair, maybe this would relieve some of the pain that was going on with it. It hasn't, but I thought I would try it. And so yes, I cut my hair, and I quite liked it, I really did. It started to grow very quickly. As you can see, I had it sort of asymmetrical, but it was nice to begin with. It wasn't until it started growing that this side started to look really stupidly long, and this side wasn't growing as quick. I still wanted short hair, and I wanted to go shorter, I wanted to try out some of these short hairstyles. The idea that I wanted to be able to fluff it up and get that punk rock look. I was thinking of getting my sides completely shaved off, so I was doing it in very small stages. So eventually I recut my hair to this. I had it also dyed, so I had highlights put into it. I loved it, it was so nice. But again, the issue was still the fact that it was still asymmetrical and it was growing quicker on one side than the other, and it started to look really stupid. So I decided, you know what, this floppy bit, this asymmetrical thing is not doing me anymore. So I cut the asymmetrical off. Worst decision of my life. It looked alright, but it wasn't at the same time. I was going through stages as it was growing where it was just not doing anything. It wasn't looking pretty, I didn't feel good about myself. And then lo and behold, today is what my hair is now. But at least I could do a top bun. I mean, at least I was able to get a top bun. That was one of the biggest achievements about my hair growing, is the top bun. The fact that I can actually put it up in a ponytail or something, even if it's half up, because obviously this is too short. So, you know, making progress. And then lo and behold, we are now today. This is my hair today. So my hair, if we get it out of my ears, is looking like this. If we get to the front, it's coming here, and then this is here. So we're about 2 inches away, I think, from getting a bob, which is the first achievement, which is to get a bob. So that is the story of my hair. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspires people to just have a play and experiment and take risks. You might not like it, but hair grows back at the end of the day, which is why I took these steps and these risks of my hair, because at the end of the day, it's gonna grow back. I mean, you may be falling out, but it is gonna grow back. I think we can all agree that I've had some very bad hair days, especially with that afro. I mean, come on, that afro was hilarious. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and please subscribe and ding the bell to get notifications of when I next upload. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Pinterest. I'm always looking for new talent. I've just put out casting calls for an actor and actress to participate in an upcoming short film that I'm filming this summer as part of my degree, so do follow me there for those kind of updates. If you guys ever had any bad hair days, comment below and let's discuss some of the strange things we decided to experiment with. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you later.